Okay, chances are if you're watching this video, you are probably thinking that you might want to go to esthetician school, or maybe you're already enrolled. But since I am in my last week of school, I figured I would finally sit down and make a video about things that I wish I would have known before starting school, and hopefully this video helps at least one of you out there. So I'm just gonna get my list out and begin. So the first thing that I wish I would have known, or I wish I would have asked when I was considering which school to go to, was I wish I asked what textbook they use. Obviously, as a prospective student, I didn't really know what textbook was like the industry standard. I didn't even know what textbook my school was using. So the industry standard textbook is the Milady textbook. My school ended up using a different one, and now I have to kind of go out on my own and buy the Milady one if I really want to have a better source of information and for studying for the state boards, because I know for New York at least, our state board exam is based off of the Milady textbook, and my school didn't use that one. So that's just something to think about. Another thing you might want to ask is what help they give you in preparing for the state boards. Initially, my school said that they don't really put in any training for the state boards outside of what we do in class, meaning that we learn things that we need to know for the state boards, but we don't do any review during class. Luckily, my teacher did review with us and has been really good about helping us with practice tests and everything. But you'll want to know, what kind of resources you'll have and how prepared you will feel for taking your state boards, because ultimately that is how you get your license. Another thing is that no school is perfect. You might go in there thinking like, oh my god, this is like such a mess, because that's kind of what I was thinking about my school, but really all of the schools have their flaws. They're all kind of a mess. So, it's just something you have to get through, and it's such a small part of this journey and your life, and at the end you get your license. You don't have to think about how crazy and hectic school was anymore. So my next one is that you will probably be spending a lot of extra money than you initially thought. So, you have your cost of tuition. You have your cost of supplies if they don't cover that in your tuition. But then once you start learning about different skincare products and all different things like that, you want to start buying all of that stuff. So since I started school, I've spent hundreds of dollars on skincare, different products, different tools. For my school, I ended up having to buy gloves, head wraps, a stainless steel bowl. I had to buy all my own supplies, and that all adds up. So I ended up spending a lot more than what I kind of initially thought I would just be spending as tuition. And now that point kind of goes in with my next point, is that you'll be spending money on extra trainings, because extra trainings are really great to help you gain a lot more knowledge in anything, but they cost money. Some of them are free. I know Is Clinical has really good training videos that are free. And there's a ton of other websites that have other videos that you can get trainings through. But things like dermaplaning, that's pretty expensive, and the thing about these trainings is that once you're in the school mode, at least for me, I wanted to do all these trainings, get all this extra stuff in, and turns out I really didn't need it. I really kind of spent a lot of money on things that I just didn't need. And a lot of times too, if you find a job and they want you to get trained in something, they could be paying for it, or they could just train you, which that's nice too. So moral of the story, you'll want to do some extra trainings, but some of them are unnecessary. So I guess you can pick and choose what's most important to you. Okay, so my next point is that, you know, obviously you'll be learning about all these different services that you can perform and different things that like estheticians do. And I firmly believe that in order to perform a good service on a client, you have to know how it feels. So all these services that like maybe like you might be scared to try them yourself, you have to know how it feels. So just try it when you're doing it in class. Don't be afraid of it, just try it out. You know, I had an experience where I never had the high frequency machine used on myself, and I had to use it on someone during school. And I was like, I don't even know what to do. Like, I don't know what to tell them what it feels like, because I don't know what it feels like. So I just think it's really important that you know and have felt it yourself. Okay, so my next one is for school, at least for my school, and I know for most other schools around here, you have to do clinics. So people will come in for facials. Some schools do waxing in their clinics, makeup. You have clients come in and you perform the service on them. And I didn't know that for my school, at least, clinics were outside of class time. So every quarter, well, I guess in total, I had to do 40 clinics. So that's 40 extra hours that I had to be at school outside of class time, which I was unaware of. You know, that kind of was a little bit of a problem for people who are in school or have work or other responsibilities. You know, they had to really work around their schedules to find clinic spots that worked for them. Some schools do clinics during their scheduled class time, but that might just be something that you want to ask about before starting. So let's see. Another thing about clinics is, depending on how your school does them, just get them out of the way as soon as you can. So for me, we had a schedule and we would sign up for a clinic appointment, like slot, and we would have like our friends and family come in and fill the slot. And my first term at school, I did like maybe one a day, maybe like one a week, because I was just nervous. Like I didn't want to I said that I don't want to overwhelm myself by doing all of these appointments in one day. But then every time I had to go back to school for an appointment, I was just nervous and I was stressed out about it, and it just kind of made everything a lot harder. So after that, for my last 2 terms, I booked all of my appointments in the same week. So I would have like 3 appointments a day. It made it so much easier because once you're already at school, it goes by so much faster. Just having it out of the way is the best feeling. So if you're able to do that, do it. Another thing that refers to clinics but also refers just to class is see what product line your school uses. My school used Control Corrective and I don't love it. Honestly, I wish we had a bigger product line and bigger like options to choose from for our clients during clinic. We didn't get like a lot of training on it just because like there wasn't any. I would have like preferred if we could have had a line like Glymed Plus, or even the schools that use Dermalogica. They have all of these products to use and to learn about and try, and we just didn't necessarily have that at my school. So I think it's a good thing to research the product lines that they're using. And you know, if you're choosing between 2 schools and it's really close and you like them both, the product line that they use might be the deal breaker. You know, like you want one that you can learn a lot about and there's a lot to try and that it's a good line. Like you don't want people to be coming in for clinics and they're like, oh, like what are you using on me? And you don't even want to recommend it to them because it's a bad product. You know what I mean? Another point about clinics is that if you have to bring in your own people, start hyping it up as soon as possible. Like start telling your friends and your family members that you're doing this and that you're gonna need people to come in for you. You can even, if it's like around the holiday time or like birthdays, schedule an appointment for someone, and you know, that can be their gift from you to them for like the holiday or the birthday. But yeah, it makes it so much easier when you have people who will come in for you, and then you'll just be able to get the clinics done and out of the way. So make them want to come in. Okay, another one is that if you know someone who went to this school, ask them what their experience was like, but also keep in mind that their experience might not be your experience, you know, like they might have had a teacher who doesn't work there anymore, or they, you know, if they had a bad experience, it could just be their attitude. Another thing that I kind of wish I did a little more of is keep track of what you've learned, like as far as just interesting facts and things that you thought were really cool or interesting, or that you'd want to think about later. Whenever I learned something that was like really interesting to me, I just wrote it on the side of my PowerPoint. But now it's like I have hundreds of PowerPoints, and it's hard to just kind of like go back and look at all of them. I wish I did a better job. I wish I like kept a notebook and just wrote all the interesting facts and things that I thought were really cool in the notebook. Next one is for your state boards. I know for New York, we have to take a practical exam. I'm pretty sure most states have to take a practical exam. But before you end school, get together with some of your classmates and figure out what you're gonna need for the practical and buy the stuff, but then split it up between all of you. So then you're splitting up the cost, and chances are like you only need a small amount of everything, and you can't just buy like one or two things of, I don't know, popsicle sticks or cotton rounds. You know, it's easier if you just buy the whole thing, split it up between you guys, and then you've saved money. You save like, I don't know, stuff. Because you don't need that much stuff. So that makes it a little bit easier. Another one is just keep doing practice exams for the state board. Like, especially once you're in the last couple months of school, you want to really be remembering the stuff from the beginning of your schooling. You know, if you're just rushing at the end to try to remember everything, chances are you're going to be really stressed, and you're not going to end up remembering things as well. So if you keep doing practice exams throughout the time, it'll just make it all so much easier. Another thing is that your skin will probably go crazy. Like, the first entire term at school, we were doing facials on each other every single day, and that's a lot for your skin to take. That's a ton of stimulation, and it's just not necessarily good for your skin. Obviously we were learning, so we had to just keep doing it, but your skin will probably go crazy, and you're gonna hate yourself because you're like, I'm supposed to be in esthetician school, I'm gonna be an esthetician, and my skin sucks. Like, it's a really bad feeling, honestly, but it gets better. Like, it gets so much better. And honestly, even if you don't have to do facials on your classmates at school and they're not doing them on you, because I know some schools don't do that, even if that's the case, like, you're still gonna be going home and trying all this different stuff on your skin because you're learning about it in school. And you know, if you're anything like me, you're gonna be like, I need to try all of this, and you're gonna like start doing facials on yourself at school and just trying all this different stuff, and it might be a little too much, and your skin might be like really taking it out on you, but it's okay. It's just part of it. So I think that's basically it for all the advice I have and things I wish I would have known. So if you have any other videos that you want to see about esthetician school, or just any questions that you have, ask in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video.